Hello everyone, my name is Dylan from VanHoof AI. We help engineering companies implement AI into workflows, processes, and teams within their companies. Today I'm going to be showing you a supplier conformance AI system to do with bill of materials and cross-checking. So a little bit about the problem we're addressing. All AI systems need to have a problem tied to them and what they solve. If we're not doing that, we're just implementing AI for the sake of it, riding the hype train. There is no need for it. We need to always have an issue it addresses and a problem it solves. So the problem for this solution: engineering projects lose thousands of pounds on supplier misalignment and miscommunication. Wrong parts can arrive, leading to project delays. Overbought inventory leads to cost implications and admin time wasted on supplier communications. So to scope this solution, automation, how we'd like to see how it'd work. So we always start with, a small framework of thinking, how would we actually like it to work? What we'd like it to handle. So how this will work is a new version of a BOM is released. It then compares the changes between the first revision and the most recent revision. Is then passed through an AI model, which filters the noise, any sort of structure, formatting differences. AI then summarizes the changes into natural language, ready for an email. These emails are then passed on to a senior engineer or a project lead for review, check-in, and approvals. If approved, it is then released to an email to each supplier, encompassing only what's relevant for them. So the stack that we're going to use to build this automation is Excel, Google Sheets, so pretty interchangeable. JavaScript or Python for comparison code nodes, and GPT and Claude, whichever AI system you enjoy using. We use Teams for notification for approvals. We can also use email, SharePoint, Google Drive, where everything's captured and held, and then Gmail, Outlook, or whatever email provider you want to use to notify the suppliers. So let's see how this actually works. A new revision of a BOM is created, is then compared to the last revision. Our AI model filters the noise, formatting structure. Our second AI model actually summarizes this into natural language. Is then passed to a senior engineer or lead for review. So we have this human in the loop section here. This is super important that we make sure nothing that is actually generated by AI being sent without being checked. So if it doesn't pass, it's then edited and amended and then released to relevant supplier. If it does pass, straight away released to relevant supplier. So I'll walk through how the automation works. We're using N8N at the moment, so you're actually looking at each thing. It's visual on how you see it. It's not just a bunch of code we're staring at and I'm trying to walk you through. So here, this section is where we store our Excel sheets, our previous BOM, our latest BOM. Here is where we merge both of them and we tag them, whether this one's previous or the second one is the latest BOM. Here, both of them are combined, ready for a payload to go to the AI model for analysis. So this AI model here, we're using GPT. This filters the changes, any format, structure, differences like that aren't necessary and actually aren't data that we want, it gets filtered out. Then passes to our Claude node to summarize it in natural language for each supplier. This section here, just for ease of use today, is all disabled, but this is where you can review with the lead via a Teams notification and they click an approve button, a ClickUp one, or a Gmail email and wait for a response. So if it's then approved, it is then made ready by this JavaScript node to actually structure the email, and then we're using Gmail today, but is then sent to the supplier via email. So I'll show you what my bombs look like and what we should be looking for. So now we're on the bill of materials. Here I have revision 1 and here I have revision 2. So I'll just run through a few of the changes. Everything that's highlighted has been changed in quantity of how much we'll actually need. So this is what we need to be looking for and keeping an eye out in the supplier emails once they're released. On the second revision, we've got these changes. So a lot of quantities have increased, some for 4-pin connectors, M6 cap screws, 10mm shaft oil seal, data cables and lock washers, and we've added a new part which is a centrifugal pump. So we'll now run this workflow and see what it outputs. So the workflow ran successfully. It took about 14 seconds to get through it all fully. So now I've got 3 emails here for each different supplier to show you. So let's go for the first one. This is Connect Fast Team, and this summarizes the changes that has actually happened to their supplied parts. So we just say about the bill of materials for what project we're working on, and you can see the affected parts here. So as we said, we were looking out for the 4-pin connector and the data cable. Both those have been captured fine of new quantities and what the change is, and some action required. The second one, this is the fluid dynamics team. And once again, writing to inform you the changes to the bill of materials for our project. So there's a new part added. This covers the centrifugal pump, what material it is and what weight. So also goes through your action required for new part, and then also looks at the existing parts. Once again, we're capturing the proper changes that we were looking for and action required. Finally, the last one through global fabricators. Same similar structure for each email. We want to keep consistency. So this is just a quantity change for cap screws, and we've captured that again, a change of +8. So there we go. This is just a small example of, what can actually be done with AI in engineering. It just shows the possibility, even something as simple as, the manual process of talking to suppliers, possibly getting things wrong, having stuff unupdated in your bill of materials, lead to project delays and cost implications. Things like this can be handled with AI and can be integrated into workflows without, having this full automated system where nothing's checked. This is where this human in a loop serves its purpose, and it's really good, and we have to implement it into all our AI systems to make sure that they're audited, checked, and actually approved.